Yes, we're going to go game by game through the Premier League weekend in the company of Troy Deeney. Good to see you, Troy.
It's good to be here, thank you. It's a bit busy here, isn't it?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Very lively. I asked you what your darts was like on Friday. Not good, from what you said.
It's not something I would say I'm a master at, definitely not. But now I'm in here, I've got the urge to play. I don't know about you guys.
Well, there's enough boards about. We'll have to let you have a little go later. So, we're going to kick off.
I can't reach the board.
No, it's his dodgy shoulder,
Terrible.
Steve Backley. Ipswich, Manchester United, 1-1. We heard from Amorim there, and you kind of have a bit of sympathy for what he said. In some cases, with guys coming back on international duty, they probably had one training session, maybe two before that game, and it was a different formation, new manager.
Yeah.
So, what did you make of the performance?
Performance is what I expect it to be between now and the end of Jan, if I'm being totally honest with you. A lot of up and downs. The thing I enjoyed, I was texting Crookie, as he's obviously a Man United guy, all the way through. After 5 minutes, I knew who they are, what they are.
Right.
The setup was clear, I know what they want to do. The formation was very obvious for us all to see.
So that makes them easy to play against, does it? Or not?
No, it what I'm trying to say is it was better for the observer.
Okay.
Went through Ted Hogg, 2.5 years, you were like, what are they? Who are they trying to be?
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, you're like, oh.
There's an identity.
There it is. Yeah.
I thought there were some encouraging signs for United fans. Some of their one-touch play was quite interesting and moving the ball quicker, much better than they did under Ten Hag, but then they sort of reverted back to that Ten Hag.
And that's the bit he's going to have to change, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they look tired as well. I thought when they... At the start, you can see, I don't know if you've watched any the things that Man U have posted on YouTube. So in his first session, it's a lot of keeping the ball in the opposition's half, but as soon as you lose it, everyone sprints back. And for the first 10, 15, you saw Rashford, saw Garnacho all go in. And then after about 20, 25, the old habit started creeping in when it was like 6 sprinting back. So he's going to have to get that message across, as this is what he wants. But also he's got to try and do all of this hard work without a pre-season.
Yeah.
In the season, going into the hardest time of the year, so managing loads and schedules. I don't know, people go, myself included, the footballers just get on with it.
Yeah.
But to try and change the way that they once was playing to a now more aggressive style, he's got to be careful not to get into injuries.
The best news of the weekend was the fire alarm at Stockley Park during the match. Honestly. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want anybody to be hurt at all, but if the whole place burned down, it wouldn't be the end of the group.
No, as long as everybody had got out.
Of course.
As long as everybody had got out.
Just left VAR in.
As for Ipswich, I mean, that was a tough start from Amorim's point of view, because the atmosphere at Portman Road is great. They are up and at them. They get at you. And in Rory Delap, they've got... Just, I mean, as I said, he's like a throw. I keep doing it again. Liam. I said this early on. Yeah, sorry, that's what old people do. They talk about
you've
their dads.
thrown to the wrong
I
Delap.
have thrown to the wrong Delap. Yeah, long throw to the wrong. But yeah, in Liam Delap, they've got quite an old school, like an old school striker, but that in a good way, because no one likes playing against players like that.
No, he understands what he is. He's big, he's lumpy, he throws his weight around.
He's got touch, though.
He's got, but he's also got that finesse of. He's quite quick as well. He's deceptive. I think the one thing I've noticed with him, and I've seen Ipswich 4 times this year. Twice he's been good, twice he's been bad. And the reasons he's been bad is because he's let people get into his head. So against Everton, he tried to fight Tarkowski. That's Tarkowski's game.
Yeah.
Run him. He's still young, he's still learning on the job. And then against Brighton, everything he tried to do was one touch. Kept bouncing off it. Sometimes he needs to look after it. But then the other 2 times, he gets it all together. And you're like, oh my God, that's the player. Yeah. That's what Man City wanted. So I think if they're going to stay up and be successful, a lot of it's going to be down to him and the way he ruffles up that back four. Because he doesn't just stay on one set half, he goes all the way across the line. So I think it's great. I think it's a great example that we don't just have to have this typical striker. We've got him, got Chris Wood now. Everyone starts to go, actually, you know what, the target
You're going to have to come out of retirement.
But certainly look better.
I don't know about that.
Certainly look better than the 2 United are pushing, Xerxes. It's early days, but it's hard to look at it and think, is this boy right for the Premier League? I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt of just this year, because I feel the way that Ten Hag had them set up, I don't know what they were doing. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone was fit to the level that they should be, and then try to understand what they're doing. Now a change of manager, but I agree with you. It's hard to figure out where does he play and what is he.
I tell you what was really interesting yesterday. That game and the game before it really shows the strength of the Premier League. The fact that at the bottom of the table, it took a sort of dodgy penalty. It was a penalty, but a stupid penalty for Liverpool to win that game, and they're top and flying high.
Yeah, and I think it shows to the mentality that you need to be at the top level as well, because I've been there at Watford when you're playing these guys. These are the games you look for in the middle of June. You're like, when are we playing United? When we play Liverpool? When's it at home? When's it away? And for those guys, it's a massive game. For Southampton, I love Southampton, what they're doing. I think it's a nice club. But sometimes watching them, I just want to strangle the TV.
The first goal, the first goal was just nuts, wasn't it?
But all of the goals, every goal they let in is always like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I understand the manager's philosophy. I get all of that, but there has to be a level of just maturity. Right, we're under the cosh here. Just hold the ball. You know, the first goal when they roll it out, you're like screaming at telling stop, don't. and you do it, and obviously they score goals. But I think the reason the Premier League is so good and better than every other league, in my opinion, is top to bottom, week in, week out, you have to be at it. Because if you're not, the Watfords or the Southamptons, in this case at Ipswich, will be bang at it.
Mo Salah making the difference yesterday.
Yep.
And then he does that interview afterwards where he says to the Liverpool fans, I'm more out than in, I've not had an offer yet. I mean, does that just feel...
I like it.
Yeah, of course.
I like it. That's I'm all in. He's pushing all the chips into the middle, isn't he?
That's exactly what we said.
Have you been in that situation when you've been trying to get a new deal and you think, okay?
Absolutely, you do. You utilise when everyone now is understanding how important he is to Liverpool. There's no denying that. The goals he scores, the assists, etc. is great. To not have a contract on the table, if he's telling the truth, there's no contract been offered yet. At this time, that would suggest to me that Liverpool are trying to move on and not try to do the right thing and announce it. But he's saying, right, you want me to stay? Put a contract offer on. And oh, by the way, I'm scoring, and all these guys, the fans, they're on my side now. So what do you want to do? Ball in your court.
The feeling is it seems to be length for contract. Maybe he's looking for...
3 years?
He's looking for 3 years.
He should get 3 years. He doesn't look like he's going to slow down, especially when he took his top off. Looked like me, didn't he? Like his young
maybe that was part of the...
I suppose there's three of them. There's Van Dijk, there's Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there's him, and they need to sort those out.
But if you put it in order of importance, I would say you need Salah, you need Van Dijk, Trent you could do without. Again, all exceptional players, but easier to replace a right-back than it is for Mo Salah to get a winger plus a goal scorer that's going to turn up. And Van Dijk's arguably the best centre-half in the world. Get them two tied up. If it's 3 years, you're still going to have some value in them at the end of it. They're not going to be like suddenly Salah's going to score 8 goals a season. That's just not going to happen.
Players can get old quickly. It can happen.
Of course it can. But would you take the risk?
I would,
Yeah,
but as a Chelsea fan, I'm hoping they don't.
We wouldn't have any biasness on this.
You can't comment. Over the years, you can't. We've known this. You can't comment about football without having some agenda. It's not possible. If you're a real fan, you can try and be neutral, but you always look at it through your club's prism.
That is now some lead Liverpool have got, and if they beat City at the weekend, that would be 11 points.
Yeah, you would argue that that's them to go, but it's a tough week for them as well. Wednesday they go Real Madrid as well. It's a big game. I think I've been really impressed with how they've conducted themselves, especially the manager. I think most managers come in, and you've had a few managers at Chelsea, they come in and they try and reinvent the whole thing. And it's working, and he's just said, right, Klopp's left me a great squad with a great way of playing. They're fit, so I'm just going to tweak it. And he's not been embarrassed to say that, as he hasn't come in and said, oh, right, we're going to play it from the back now, we're going to stop going forward. It's like, no. This works. Let's just go get it.
There are subtle changes, but they are very subtle, aren't they, really?
But that's what it should be. Because he's allowing this great group of players to express themselves. And then he's going, right, as a manager and as a coach, all you should have to do is tweak it. If you come in and have to overhaul the whole thing, it's more about you than it is the players.
It is kind of running for them, though. I mean, that penalty, look, they may have gone on to win the game anyway, but that was helpful. Yeah,
but I also think the penalty against them was probably, on first 5 views of it, I thought it was outside the box.
Yeah, so did I.
So it swings around about.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.